What's going on? It's your boy Eddie J out of Lancaster, PA. MG Streams, power washing, soft washing, the number one power washing, soft washing company in the central PA area. What's going on? What's going on? Hey man, just going for a ride here right now. What I want to talk to you guys about today is commitment. And what commitment is. And commitment is pretty much doing the thing you said you would do, long after the mood in which you said it in has left. So that means if you say you're going to do this, you got to continue to do that. If I'm going to do this for the next 30 days, 90, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, 180 days, whatever, you got to do that thing. Because there's going to be days in between it where you don't feel like doing it, but you got to keep that big goal in mind. And you can get to whatever your goal is, you know what I mean? Like, whatever your income goal is, you can blow it completely out of the water just by being actively in the pursuit of it. A good book I would say you guys to read is The Compound Effect. The Compound Effect, I believe it's Darren Hardy. It's a lot like, it comes from like the same tree, like the Tony Robbins tree, and what's the other book? What's the other book right now? The Compound Effect, and I'll get that other book to you as well. But yeah, it's a lot of the same things, but it really talks about in that book about momentum. Once you catch Mo, you know what I'm saying? And Mo is just short for momentum, and that's just pretty much you setting systems in place, you setting activity in place to the point where you catch momentum. You know what I mean? And that's a key with any type of marketing you're doing, any type of grinding, anything that applies to life overall in general. Like, if you start putting up signs, right, you're going to start getting calls, right? So you continue to put up signs. Now you got momentum. And then a key thing is once you get that momentum, a tendency would be to take your foot off the gas. Don't do that. You got to keep going, even if you're overwhelmed with the calls and all that type of stuff. That's why I say get your business systems in place first. You know, you're going to get calls, so do you have a number set up? You know what I mean? Even in my business right now, I still use like a free Google Voice. You know what I mean? So when that number rings on my phone, we'll be able to know that this is a pressure washing call. You know what I mean? So that's something that's key. And then also I always talk about getting Square. I would definitely get set up with Square. Three Square apps that I use are one, Square Invoicing, which is it's pretty much like my CRM. So I can have all of my customers in one place. That's why I love Square Invoicing. But I can also send people estimates, capture their information, you know, get their property address, their phone number, their email address, and then I can email them an estimate, and it'll come through very professional. And then I can do the job. And then I can send them the estimate. They can accept the estimate, so I get an email. They'll get email, and then also I can, once it's accepted, I can do the job. And then I can convert that estimate into an invoice, and they can pay through that invoice. And now you'll get the money the next day if you set it up that way, or you can get a Square card and have the money go into the Square account. Square is actually a company that I invest in on the stock market side. It's actually been doing very well for me as well. So I love Square. The other app that I use from Square is Square Appointments. So now my customers are already being there. I just go now to the Square Appointment app, and then I just click the date and time. They'll get an email and a text message saying, okay, you accepted, but this is the date that we're coming. We'll get them on the schedule then at this time. So they'll get an email and a text, and they can confirm for that date and time. They can also go in there and change the date and time themselves and stuff like that as well. So it's pretty dope. And a lot of people do say that they like that I'm able to get estimates out to them extremely fast, and then they love the confirmations. So I love that one. And then the third Square app that I use is Square Marketing. And the reason that I like Square Marketing is because with Square Marketing, what I can do is all of my customers that say I have estimates that are accepted, I mean not accepted but pending, I can now send those people an email just saying, hey, promotion, save $10, $50, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's absolutely key and critical. You know what I mean? If you're going to go out there and put up signs, you know, trying to be consistent as far as like maybe, you know, the best date are usually like Fridays. So if you can get up on a Friday, get them out there all up. You know what I mean? People are waking up Saturday morning. They're seeing your signs everywhere. People don't know how they got there. They're like, what? Oh, first of all, or to see it. And then, I mean, there's some neighborhoods where they'll stay up forever. You know what I mean? And then there's other neighborhoods where they'll come down fast, but you might get one call off of them, and that could be a $700 job. You know what I mean? So, you know, just be consistent, man. Whatever marketing you choose, man, just be consistent. Google My Business. That's another free avenue. You get a free website through Google My Business, the Google site. And then as you upload your pictures and get customer reviews, they'll automatically upload to the site. That's another key asset to have, man, with Google, man. So just be consistent, man. Definitely when you start out there, you're gonna be scared. You don't know, but what'll end up happening is once you do something, a ratio will appear. That comes from Jim Rohn. Once you do something, a ratio will appear. You know what I mean? So you'll get to the point where you know, like, hey, I put up signs, I'm going to get calls, and you start tracking to see how many calls. Because now when somebody calls, you say, hey, how'd you hear about us? Success leaves clues. So other businesses do the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's not new, but just kind of look at businesses that you go to, the little things that they do. You know what I mean? Out here driving back roads, man. But yeah, just commit to yourself. Once you commit to yourself, you'll blow what your expectations for what you believe you can do out of the water. And then once you obtain a certain level, you'll kind of always be positioning your mind to go to whatever that next level is. So you just got to kind of figure it out and navigate that for yourself. You know what I mean? And it's like once you start taking those steps, you'll be amazed how things will fall into place, and then you'll see stuff start coming to you because you'll be open to those things. But you know, it's definitely scared transitioning from the employee mindset to the entrepreneurial mindset. But it's got to be something that you've always kind of wanted. As a kid, I always wanted to be a business owner and stuff like that. So that was always, you know, something that was always a part of, you know, myself. You know what I mean? Like, I was homeless as a kid, broke, never met my dad, you know, all of that type of stuff. And those things all play a factor in how you kind of want your life to kind of pan out. But I heard a saying today, a guy said, those who struggle have success. You know what I mean? Like, because you struggle, and if you're still here after struggling, you've survived. You know what I'm saying? So like, once you get to that level of surviving, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to start thriving after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can struggle, but only for so long. You know what I'm saying? You can come in and look at your family and be like, dang, man, my whole generation and generations have been struggling for so long. And you got to kind of make that decision, like, yo, I want something different. And no, not only do I want something different, I'm going to do something different. And I'm going to make something different happen for myself, for my family, for my future generations. You know what I mean? And know that has to be that thing that compels you. I'm going to show you guys one of my most prized possessions, right? And it's the greatest gift I ever received because it motivated me to do something different. This was probably about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, my daughter got me for Christmas. She got me this little, it's a little money clip. She thought it was like a watch or something, but it was a little money clip, and it was in a box and it said All Star, and it was just this little, like, inexpensive money clip. But I remember getting that thing, and it made me like cry. She's like, "Why are you crying, Daddy?" Because I was like, "Because I'm happy." And the reason I was crying and I was happy was because at that time, I had been an entrepreneur for a few years at that time. I was struggling. I was like at my brokest point, wasn't really making money. And I had just made the decision, right? I just literally made the decision to commit and go full time with real estate, wholesaling at that time. So, but I just knew all the activity and all the work that I was putting in, success had to come. I was listening to the book at that time by Darren Hardy, Compound Effect, and I'm hearing all this stuff, and I'm just motivated, and I'm listening to Eric Thomas heavy at this time. And this is the time when I was like, I'm about to go. You know what I'm saying? I was on everything. I just was every day dang near I was putting up signs. I was creating lists. I was going to the tax assessor's website. I was getting the delinquent property tax list and all those different things, doing everything. I'm sitting there breaking down the data. I can tell how many pieces of real estate people, all that. I'm doing probates, everything, bro. Next thing you know, I'm getting calls. I'm doing my thing. But at that time, I was kind of struggling. I was broke. She gave me that little money clip, and I knew I was like, yo, I'm gonna put something in this in this little money clip. So what I did, I told you I went all out, and that's the main thing. There's no turning back. You got to figure out how to get to that point where you're going all out. Went all out, and like, look, people will come into your life as you start to be out there. I'm out there putting up signs, and my wife's cousin, who actually has an extensive real estate portfolio, he was actually just getting into wholesaling. He was doing more buying and holding and stuff like that. So he saw me, he talked to me, he's like, hey man, I see you out here hustling, maybe we can get together and make some money. We get together, we start wholesaling. I taking all the footwork that I was putting together, using his inside knowledge. I got contracts, doing all that other stuff. And the first deal we ended up doing, real estate wholesaling, we made $34,000. Okay, we got a 6-unit property under contract, right, for $260,000, and then we sold that property for $294,000. Crazy. At that thing right there changed my life. After that, so what I ended up doing was I had ended up purchasing pressure washing equipment from one of my friends prior to doing that, because this is, look, all out, but doesn't mean not to have a backup plan, right? So I go all out, but I purchased this pressure washing equipment, and I said to myself, I said, I'm gonna go all out with this real estate, right? And if that don't work out, I'm gonna do pressure washing in the spring. Now, mind you, I've never pressure washed nothing in my life. Okay, you know what I mean? I never pressure washed anything. You know what I mean? So I couldn't even operate one. But I bought this equipment. Boom. Built up a crazy pipeline with the real estate. Killing it. Now I bought the equipment. I went half for my brother-in-law. I was trying to get him to buy it because one of my best friends, he let my brother. I was telling him he was selling it because he was getting into something else. And I was gonna buy it anyway. I already had a name. I was gonna call it Vet Stream or whatever at that time. So my brother, he didn't buy it, but my friend started dropping the price, and I was like, yo, I said, why don't you, I said, I'll go half with you on it, like getting the equipment and stuff. So then I got it, and it was just kind of sitting there, sat there for a while because I was killing it on the wholesaling. So I'm coming in, I'm talking about wholesaling, you doing, you know, I was killing it, man. I was doing multiple 5 figures a month, just wholesaling. Getting properties under contract and then selling that contract to an end buyer. But I was killing it. And then my brother was like, hey, what's going on? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? So we finally pulled this equipment out. All of it's all rusted, busted. I asked my friend, like, yo, how do you, like, I figured out how to turn it on, of course, use it. And it was like, he just told me he just had the regular tips. The red tip, the white tip, the yellow tip, the green tip. And he was just like, yo, this is my introduction to pressure washing stuff, man. He was like, all right, yo, don't use the red tip for nothing because you can really damage some stuff. And if you want to use something, use mostly like either the white one or the green one. That's what he told me. So that was my man. I started pressure washing my own crib, and I got my friend with me. I was gonna have him go with me for a little bit. Got this joint, and we just pressure washing the crib, just straight pressure washing, no soap. I don't know none of that stuff yet. So I got this joint out there, and we just pressure washing, and I'm looking up, trying out the tips. The red tip seemed like it's getting stuff off the fastest. So I was like, whoa, might as well just use it. That's my friend told me, yo, you got to go with what's working up. That's our knowledge of pressure washing at that time. I didn't know nothing about soft washing. So we out there, and what ended up happening was, did it on my crib. Messed up some of my stuff, so I was like, oh, don't use this red tip no more. So then I was just, figured out, I got the long extension one and all that type of stuff from Lowe's and Lowe's cheap equipment. And I ended up just, getting some signs. So I bought some signs. I bought 100 signs for $99, right? From UZ Marketing. 100 signs. Start putting them out. On a Friday night, my wife and I went out to put them out. And by the time I got home, I already got my first call. On my regular phone, I didn't have a number set, nothing. So the guy calls me, saw your sign. Can you give me an estimate? This is before everything. So I go out there, we do the estimate. Boom. Next thing you know, booked everything for that Monday. I ended up having 3 jobs by Monday. Go out there. First job I get on. Start pressure washing this guy's house. Huge house, man. Charge him like $250. And what ended up happening was the pressure washer just starts leaking. And I'm out there pressure washing. And this guy's like a business owner. And he's just out there looking at me the whole time. And he was just like, pressure washer's leaking, it's not gonna work. And so it's like I'm getting like global, I don't know what's going on. I couldn't, then it just stops. I ended up taking this pressure washer. I was like, man, I got these 2 more jobs. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I ended up just going to Home Depot, buying a pressure washer for like $400, a little small one, and that job was getting the job done. But I was over there pressure washing every house. It was taking me like 6 hours. Then finally I found a turbo nozzle, and I was like, oh, look how fast this is taking the burrito. I was trying to make up mixes from Lowe's. I'm buying 30 seconds, John. I'm throwing Pine Sol in there. I heard somebody say something about Pine Sol and regular bleach and all this stuff. It ain't doing nothing. But yo, that's how I started. You know what I mean? Like, you can start anything, man, and become successful if you're passionate, if you're consistent, and if you're willing to do whatever it takes. And you got to define what success is for yourself, ultimately. Because success for you, if you're at a job, right, and you're making minimum wage, or even if you're making, let's say, $50,000 a year, you're making $50,000 a year, but you got to work and grind, you can be away from your family all the time, right? If you go out there, invest your little money you got to the side in a pressure washer, you get that pressure washer, you go out there, you start building some money, some capital for yourself. You can go out there and do what? You can be pretty cheap because it's just you. You can charge people $250, something like that, for a house. Go out there and kill it, and you can start making $10,000 a month, right? You make $10,000 a month, so that means in 5 months you done made your whole salary of what you was doing before. Now that could be game changer for you. And now you start investing in your marketing and stuff like that. Next thing you know, you have a month where you do 20,000. 30,000, 40,000 in a month. That changes the game for you, man. And guess what? The most important thing is acquiring your customers, right? Because when I get a customer, I want them to be my customer for life. You know what I mean? You'll be surprised how many people end up calling you back, because when they think about pressure washing, you did such an amazing. They're not looking for, like, when I go get a haircut, I'm trying to go to see my barber, right? You know what I mean? If somebody cuts your grass, that's the person that cut your grass. You're not like, ain't nobody gonna walk up to you and be like people. You know how hard it is to change, like, just cell phone. Like, I've been with Sprint for so long. I never liked, like, they were terrible, but I didn't leave. You know what I mean? Like, I go into T-Mobile. I don't even want to go through that process. Like, you know what I mean? I don't even care. It's hard to change the consumer's mindsets over a lot of times. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, even with a product, it takes a while. Like, it could be a brand new product, it could be the shit. But, like, think about this iPhone. I've never had an iPhone. Now, I invest in Apple. You know what I'm saying? But I never had a I anything, you know what I mean? I always just kind of been an Android guy, you know what I mean? So I'm an Android customer, you know what I mean? Like, so do good by your customers, man. Like, and they'll reward you, because if you do good by them, you don't know the trickle down effect of, oh, I told my mom, my sister, my blah blah blah, my cousin, my aunt, my friend, my friend's friend, my neighbor, blah blah. Yo, be consistent. Go after what it is you want, and create the lifestyle that you want to live. My name is Eddie J. I'm just a lowly entrepreneur out of Lancaster, PA. If I could do it, you could do it. Believe in yourself, and you'll be successful. I'm out.